Kia ora, and welcome to Tuesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect New Zealand. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news that while much of the Northern Hemisphere is enjoying the last of their summer holidays, Chinese investors have returned in a bullish mood, and in contrast to the now-jaded US equity markets. But first in the US, Consumer Credit Bureau VantageScore is reporting that consumers with the best scores, those called super prime, are showing meaningful signs of credit stress. Among this group, late payments have more than doubled in a year. For the group below that, the prime group, this metric of delinquency rose almost 50%. Meanwhile, the widely watched Chicago Fed National Activity Index retreated. This tracking suggested overall American economic growth decreased in July. And the Dallas Fed said in its region factory activity is still expanding but at a slower pace. Although new orders rose, and for the first time in 2025, production activity eased back noticeably. Price and wage pressures rose faster. New house sales in the US stayed at an essentially unchanged pace in July, although marginally softer than in June. Prices dipped, likely because they have a continuing glut of new homes for sale, exceeding 9 months' worth at the current sales rate. The latest estimate from the Atlanta Fed's GDPNow live tracking is due tomorrow and is likely to reflect the overall slowdown reported in these other indicators. Across the Pacific, Singapore said basically it doesn't have any inflation anymore. Its July survey came in even lower than was anticipated. Even food inflation there is very low. And yesterday we noticed that the Chinese central bank set its Yuan exchange rate with an outsized shift. Now it's 7.116 to the US dollar, 160 basis points strengthening from the prior fix. That makes it its strongest against the greenback since October 2024. It is actually unclear why this happened because the US dollar index was little changed in the period. Maybe some of this is related to the recent equities euphoria in the Shanghai stock market. Is starting to show the frothy signs that Hong Kong has long displayed. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.28%, up 2 basis points from yesterday at this time. And Wall Street has started its week hesitantly, with the S&P 500 down 0.3% in Monday trade. Overnight, European markets opened their week mixed, with London up 0.1%, but Paris down 1.6%. Yesterday, Tokyo started its week up 0.4%. Hong Kong rose a strong 1.9%, and Shanghai mirrored that, up 1.5%. Singapore was up a minus 0.1%, and that was matched by the ASX 200, and the NZX 50 rose 0.3% in its Monday trade. And the price of gold will start today at $3,371 an ounce, little changed from yesterday. And American oil prices have risen $1 to $65 a barrel, while the international Brent price is now just under $69 a barrel. And we should also note that China has imported no natural gas from the US since March, and no crude oil since June. But the US keeps on importing from China, despite the border tariff taxes, which the US importers seem to be paying. The Kiwi dollar is now just on 58.6 US cents, down 10 basis points from yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're down 20 basis points at 90.2 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're up 20 basis points at 50.3 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 66.3 and little change from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $112,427 and down 1.7% from yesterday. Volatility of the past 24 hours has been modest, also at just on plus or minus 1.7%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.